What is up, you guys? Welcome to another Tuesday with Spencer here on FTM Transtastic. This week we are talking about trans positivity. And though I'm not really sure what we were discussing or what we were thinking about when we came up with this topic, I'm going to do what Trenton did and talk about how being trans has positively influenced my life. Being a part of the transgender community for me has given me confidence and courage, something that I very much lacked until I came out as transgender almost a year and a half ago. I think that it was one of the defining moments in my life where I had to make this choice between whether I was going to do something that made me happy versus what made everybody around me happy. I lived much of my life like that, making everybody around me happy, and it wasn't really a big deal because my happiness aligned with theirs, so I wasn't really missing much. For me, I think the biggest part of coming out and experiencing everything that I experienced, it showed me just how important this was to me, transitioning and going by different name and different pronouns and starting hormone replacement therapy, etc. Because when I was met with such a abrasive no from my family, from some of my friends, I think anyone else would have faltered. Not that trans people are the strongest of the all. I just think that if you aren't serious about this, you wouldn't have gone through what you had to go through. I surely wouldn't. I ended up homeless for coming out as trans, and I had to make a decision to either pay for my last year of college or get an apartment, and I chose to pay for my last year of college, and that was very hard, you know? So for me, being transgender has given me this courage to go out and be who I am. I'm going to sound a little bit Grey's Anatomy-ish right now, but like one of my favorite things that Meredith said with a recent episode was, and I'm paraphrasing, but was, you decide, can you be stronger, can you be kinder, can you be better? Decide and do. And that's exactly what I did, and that's what I think a lot of trans people do. They decide if whether or not this life is okay as it is, or if there's a potential for something better. They decide if whether or not this is who they are, or are they someone else, someone better? Is there a chance for them to get better? And I think that right there speaks volumes to somebody's character. For me, I went through hardship after coming out, and sometimes I would be like, you know what, I should just tell my parents I'm not trans so they can give me my car back and pay for tuition and do all these things so I can just live easier. But it really comes to mind what exactly would be easier about it. When I came to terms with my trans identity, dysphoria became so immense. I had dysphoria obviously throughout my life, but it was never as severe as it was when I first realized what it was that was causing me to feel uncomfortable. And then when I put a name to the feeling, it just kind of explodes. So there wasn't really anything to go back to. I would constantly feel, terrible, and would know that I could fix it, but would be afraid to fix it because I want my parents' support, I want my parents' money, I want my parents' whatever. And then you're faced with a choice. That's where the courage comes in. We're all faced with a choice. This choice to take this leap of faith, to talk to a therapist, to start hormones, to get surgery, or to be stagnant and stay where we are and try to make the best of it. And that's why I very much am indebted to the trans community, because when I had to make these choices, when I was faced with this realization of being homeless or being trans, I had no one else to turn to but to the trans community, both online and in real life. And just seeing the strength from these people and just hearing their stories and hearing all that they've overcome, it gave me the strength to do so as well. And here I am, a year and a month on T, and regrouping with my family and living on my own and being independent with my college degree and everything else, but I wouldn't have had that courage to do so if it wasn't for who I met on the internet or who I met at support groups. the positive influences that being transgender have given me is just the confidence to know that I truly know what it is that I need and what it is that I want, and the courage to obtain those things. I can't tell you how many times I've let what I want slide for whoever else, whether that be a girlfriend or my brothers or my family. But now I'm able to live in my truth, and I'm able to have the confidence to know that I will speak up for myself when I know that I want to do something or don't want to do something, etc. Positivity, trans positivity. We are a strong bunch. We are a courageous bunch. We face so much trial and tribulation only to triumph on the other side. And I'm so lucky to be a part of a community as well knit and as courageous and as strong as the one that we're in right now. So I hope you guys are having a great week and are gearing up for an even better weekend. It's Tuesday. It's Spencer. Till next time.